I'm 5'8", 173 pounds, and here's my picture. Now, would you say I'm underweight, normal weight, overweight, or obese? Well, according to the BMI scale, I'm overweight. So I'm going to tell you why BMI is hot trash, and I'm going to tell you 6 important metrics that matter so much more than BMI if you're a man over 30. Let's jump right into it. All right, let's get the fun stuff first. We'll talk about the 6 metrics, and then I'll talk about the end why I think BMI is hot trash. So metric number 1 I have for you is the golden standard for body fat percentage for a guy over 30 years old should be about sub 15% body fats. So if you're a guy looking to have a healthy body, see some muscle definition, have low level of fat on your body, then your goal, guys, you should be aiming between 10 to 14% body fat. And I think it's a great standard to aim for. You don't have to be like a bodybuilder in 7-8%, but 10 to 14%, if you can get there, I think that is a fantastic metric for you. That's a lot more important than kind of relying on something like BMI, for example. All right, the second metric, and I have to give you some strength standards here, of course, right? And I got 3 of them for you. Now, these aren't exactly elite tests, but these are tests that I feel like every single guy should be able to hit, at least at some point in their life. Test number 1, can you bench press your body weight for at least 5 reps? So if you weigh 180 pounds, for example, can you press that 5 times? I feel that's a standard every guy should be able to hit. The second test I have for you, can you goblet squat half your body weight in pounds for at least 10 reps? So if you weigh 180 pounds, can you use a 90-pound goblet squat and do 10 good, clean, full parallel depths? We'll talk more about that in 1 second. And the third one I have for you, can you do at least 5 chin-ups as a guy? Now, these tests aren't easy. They're not elite, but I think it's a very good rule of thumb between find that balance between elite and easy. So these are 3 tests. If you haven't really achieved yet, I would highly recommend try to hit these. It's a great overall test to measure your legs, your upper body, and even your core stability. The third one, guys, is going to be cardio fitness. And this one's going to be a little more subjective and not as quantified. You'll kind of see what I mean here, and I'll kind of break these down for you. The first one is, can you jog a mile comfortably if needed? So if you're in Canada like myself, at 1.6 kilometers, can you jog that, at a good pace and you don't feel completely trash right after? Again, a little bit subjective, but can you do it? Yes or no? The second thing I have for you is, do you or can you walk 10 to 12,000 steps every single day without feeling burnt out? Hopefully the answer is yes here, guys. And I'm saying every single day and not just once in a while. So can you hit this number? Yes or no, without kind of feeling burnt out and fatigued? And the third one I have for you, and again, this one's gonna be a subjective test. Can you sprint at a fairly good pace? Subjective test. But the reason why I have this test in, I'm in a slow pitch softball league, the first time playing in a long time. And one thing I've noticed, a lot of guys just cannot run. A lot of guys over 30, like very fast at all. So can you run at least an average to above average speed without really tearing every muscle in your body or without just kind of feeling beat up and you're about to throw up essentially? So can you pass those 3 tests, guys? 10K steps at least every day without feeling gas, jog 1 mile, and then can you sprint at least an average speed? The fourth one, guys, and we have to measure some movement quality now. So nothing to do with weight right now, nothing to do with performance. Can you move properly? And I got 4 simple tests for you on this one here. And the very first one is, can you squat to at least parallel? So can you get your knees basically all the way, your hips basically all the way down to the knees in a nice straight line? Is a yes or no answer without your lower back really tucking under. The second thing is, can you touch your toes? Or I should say even your foot. Can you touch your foot without your knees kind of really shooting forward, kind of like that? So can you touch your feet with your legs basically as straight as possible, like a minor knee bend at the most? That's your second test. The third test I have for you is, can you sit in a 90-90 in a comfortable position? So this measures hip rotation, guys. And if your hip rotation isn't good, this is where knees and lower back gets beat up. So can you sit in this position comfortably on both sides? If the answer is no, and you have like a knee or lower back injury, this is probably the first thing I would address, kind of fixing that hip rotation mobility. More in that video on another day, or more that subject another day. And the fourth one, guys, can you at least get 50 degrees of thoracic rotation in a lumbar rotation test? So what you basically do is, I'm going to show you the clip right here, butt back towards heel, forearms in the middle, palm is up, and you're trying to rotate as high as you can. So if I get all the way back basically to that straight flat line, that'd be 9 degrees. Anywhere in the middle is 45 degrees. And then obviously you guys can use your judgment in terms of how far or how little you do get with that test right there. So can you pass those 4 tests, guys? The thoracic rotation, at least 50 degrees. Can you touch your feet with your legs straight? Can you sit comfortably in a 99 position? And can you squat to at least parallel? The fifth one I have for you is a bit of a longevity test here, and it's resting heart rate and blood pressure. And I'll give you my 2 golden standards when it comes to this. For resting heart rate, are you between 50 to 60 beats per minute in a resting position? If you're a little bit higher, still pretty solid, of course, but golden standard for me, try to get at least 60, or I should say 60, sub 60. That'll be your golden standard for that one. For blood pressure, now I've heard mixed reviews here. It used to be 120 over 80. I'm sure you heard that. I've heard it now it's like 110 over 70. Let's just say though, because most people are on the higher side, let's just say and call it even 120 over 80. Is your blood pressure that or even a little bit below that, obviously in a safe place? Now for myself, like mine's naturally a little bit higher because I have a heart condition which spikes up the blood pressure. So this is assuming you are, fully healthy, no heart issues, anything like that. Can you get to that number with your blood pressure, which is a great score for cardiovascular health and even longevity. Last one here, guys, before I talk about BMI, is the old man's test. And I love this because it's a mix of stability, mobility, and balance. And here's the test. I'm going to do my, show myself playing it, and I'll kind of talk you through it right now. So essentially you have 2 socks on the ground and you have your 2 shoes on the ground. I'm just going to demo with the one for now for time purposes. But what you essentially do is you do like a single leg deadlift basically. So one foot is going to remain on the ground the whole time. You're going to pick up your sock with that arm. You're going to put it on your foot. So the sock's fully in the foot. From there, you're going to go down. You're going to get your shoe. You're going to put your shoe on your foot and you're going to tie the laces all while standing in that single leg position. And then when you're done that, you basically hop to the other leg, kind of like that. And you repeat the same thing with the other side. Again, I'll just demo the one leg for time purposes. But can you pass this, guys? If you can, great marker for mobility, stability, and like I said, even single leg balance, which is very important, especially if we get older into our 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. I made a pretty bold opening statement saying that BMI is hot trash, right? So why do I feel that way? Maybe hot trash was a little bit extreme to say, but I'm just not a fan of the metric overall, and here is why. The BMI basically, guys, stands for, as you know, it's your body mass index. So how heavy you are relative to your weight. So obviously the taller you are, it's going to allow for more weight. The shorter you are, you should be at a certain weight depending on your height. So for me, I'm 5'8", not really a tall guy. Let's get the elephant out of the room there. And I'm about 173 pounds. So they're kind of saying that I should be around like, I can't remember the top of my head now, but I think it's about 155, 160 in that ballpark for my weight. But the thing they don't account for, and this is why BMI, in my opinion, is a bit of a flawed metric, is they don't account for how much muscle mass the person is carrying. I'm sure you guys know it. If you have more muscle relative to fat and even just overall body weight, you're going to carry more weight to you. There's a reason why NFL running backs are like 5'9", 5'10", but they weigh 210 pounds. They'd be considered obese, but they're just kind of carrying a ton of muscle to them. So I think in BMI, guys, if you don't work out and you don't lift weights, I do think it probably is a good metric to use. But if you're actually into like lifting weights and you're into fitness, this is where I think it is flawed for sure. Because again, just talking about the muscle mass, the more muscle you have, the more this number is going to spike up. And not to be cocky here, but I'm sure you're looking at me. You probably don't think I'm an overweight guy, right? Because that's what BMI tells me. It tells me I'm overweight. If you guys enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. If you want to download a free workout plan, so much good stuff in there, guys. I'll put in the free comments for you, in the comments for free for you for sure. I'll have it pinned. Grab it, download it, and let me know if you have any questions whatsoever on that. Talk soon.